Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back with another video. Today, we're looking at SUI, looking at the price target update, where I think the price of SUI can get to by the peak of this bull cycle. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. Link in the description, my gift to you, and let's talk about SUI. So let's just set the scene for SUI's price action here more recently and what we've been seeing with the price over the past few months. Just zooming out, we obviously had a huge run up in price here through Q4 into 2025 for the price action of SUI, these August 4th lows around 48 cents. And then we saw price action getting all the way up here to $5.32 before we began to see SUI pulling back in price in Q1 of 2025. Now, that was not much of a surprise given the price action of Bitcoin moving down through Q1. Global M2 was decreasing during that period, and Bitcoin was following it with an 8 to 12 week delay. SUI, along with most of the rest of the altcoin market, had a pretty hard bleed out in Q1 of this year. We finally found this bottom around that first week in April, where we had prices of SUI wicking down as low as about $1.72. And since then, we had a nice big run up, but then another pullback over the past few weeks. So we lost the 200-day simple moving average once again here around the early to middle of June time period. And I had this level marked in as a key level where I thought price could pull back to if we broke this level of support. So this level here acted as resistance back in March. Price jumped up. I was watching if we were going to break below that. I felt this would be a good buying zone if we did pull down. And sure enough, we came all the way down to about $2.30 here before getting a little bit of a bounce on the 23rd of June, moving back to the upside. Now, again, we did have some things happening in the SUI ecosystem with the CEDAS hack back here in May and June as well. So there was a little bit of commotion about the security around leading dexes on SUI, just like CEDAS. Thankfully, there was a vote to restore and reinstate user funds, which are being paid out over the course of a few months. And so that is great to see. But if I look at what's happening with price action, we are still technically in this downtrend here that we've been in since those beginning of May highs up at that $4.30 area. That was a pretty nice short-term rally here, but we moved right back up. You can see we retested that trend here again on the 9th and 10th of June. Once again here in the past few days, 4th and 5th of July, we did not manage to get back above it. So what I'm looking for now is for SUI to maybe make a decision over the next couple of weeks in this area. If we can hold above this level of support, if we can see SUI break above this particular downtrend, I think that'll give us permission to go on and retest that 200-day simple moving average, again, around that $3.30 mark. So we did get back above $3 very briefly, didn't break beyond that downtrend. I'd like to see us try and do that. If Bitcoin has the momentum to go on and retest previous all-time highs around $111,000, $112,000, we might see that price action for SUI. If not, we might need to consolidate a little bit further, maybe even come down here before moving higher. But I still am very bullish about SUI in the medium term for the rest of this cycle. And we're going to talk about some other reasons why. First of all, we have a huge amount of DeFi activity happening on the SUI network. We've got a whole bunch of different protocols built out on top of the SUI ecosystem. DEXs like CEDAS, Turbos, even newer DEXs as well. We are seeing lots of lending borrowing protocols like Navi Protocol and SUI Lend increasing in TVL over the past number of months. And I think the ecosystem as a whole that has been built out on top of SUI is flourishing and very, very vibrant. If you've used SUI as a blockchain layer 1 settlement layer, you will know just how quick and efficient it is to interact and use the SUI network. And so that is its biggest strength, in my opinion. And the fact that I think we can see a lot more growth in the coming months lies on those foundational pillars and the protocols that have actually been built out on top of the SUI network, and of course the adoption that those protocols are getting. So if I jump over to DeFi Llama very, very quickly, just to nail home the point that I'm making here, we come into the chains area. SUI is now the 9th largest protocol by TVL in DeFi, $1.82 billion. And again, we can see how that TVL has been increasing here since those March, April lows. TVL increasing substantially in the SUI network over the past few months. That's what I like to see. I like to look at the on-chain technicals. Is the protocol getting adoption? Are there protocols being built out on top of the SUI network as a whole? And the answer is yes. We can see over the past 1 month, we've had increases in Navi protocol, 20% increase in HADL, 71% increase in Momentum, which is a new DEX in the SUI ecosystem as well. If you want a dedicated video on Momentum, drop a comment below this video and I will put it together for everyone here. So lots of exciting stuff happening when it comes to on-chain technicals. And the fundamentals and the team behind SUI, as we know, were a branch of the team that created the Libra cryptocurrency for the Facebook Meta group a number of years ago. They broke off, created SUI, and you have some of the smartest engineers in the world working on this protocol. Again, jumping back to the chart here, I want to take a quick look at a couple of other charts. SUI dominance is another very important chart to be looking at here. We've seen SUI dominance increasing pretty nicely over the past year. We're still technically in a pretty strong uptrend. When we zoom out far enough here, of course, we've been pulling back in recent weeks, getting a bounce from this 0.26% level. We're back up above 0.3%. We were as high as almost 0.5% back in January of this year. But I think SUI can get to 1% dominance in this cycle and possibly even beyond that. If we think back to Solana from the previous cycle, we can see Solana dominance got all the way up to 2.88% at the peak of the 2021 cycle. And I'm just illustrating that on the chart here by zooming back out to the weekly. Solana got up to 2.88% at the peak of the 2021 cycle. So what I'm arguing here, or the thesis that I'm putting forth, is that even if SUI does less than half of what Solana did in terms of market cap dominance this cycle, that would still get us up to somewhere between 1.3 and 1.4% dominance for SUI versus the rest of the crypto market. And I think that will continue to see SUI move towards that 1% level over the coming months. If we see Bitcoin moving to all-time highs, I do think it's very possible to see SUI dominance increasing in this manner. The reason I bring up SUI dominance in the first place is because that is one of the variables that I use when thinking about making price predictions for not just SUI, but any of the assets in this space. And if I jump over to my Miro board, where I put together all of these different price targets, last time I made a SUI price prediction update, these were the numbers and what they looked like. Okay. Again, bear case, base case, and bull case scenario. In the bear case, I have total crypto market cap getting somewhere to close to around 5 trillion US dollars. In the base case, I have us getting somewhere close to 7 trillion. And in the bull case, getting as high as $9 trillion. Again, many other analysts think that we could be going as high as 10 to 15 trillion dollars in this cycle. And if I jump over to the total crypto market cap chart and just make the point here, if we were to see a similar increase in market cap percentage, let me rephrase that. If we are to see similar growth in terms of cycle over cycle performance from cycle peak to cycle peak for market cap growth, that would mean that we would see, roughly speaking, a 300% increase cycle peak to cycle peak, which is what we got from 2017 to 2021 cycle peak to cycle peak. A 300% increase in total crypto market cap would put us somewhere in the region of $12 trillion for total crypto market cap. Now, is that very aggressive? Yes, I think it is, but that would be just the same move that we made during the previous cycle. If I bring this down to a more conservative 200% increase, that gets us somewhere close to $9 trillion by the peak. And even if we just look at a 100% increase from cycle peak to cycle peak, that is getting us to 6 trillion US dollars. So again, that would be 1/3 the growth that we saw in the previous cycle. And for that reason, I have my targets in at 5 trillion in a bear case, 7 trillion in a base case, and 9 trillion in a bull case. Just like I was making the case for SUI dominance, if we can get to 0.9% dominance, that's going to give us roughly a $45 billion market cap for SUI and a $12.50 price per token by the peak of the cycle. If SUI can get up to 1.1% dominance, that's going to give us a $77 billion market cap in a 7 trillion overall crypto market cap, leading to a $21 price per SUI token. And in the most bullish case scenario, total crypto market cap getting to 9 trillion, and SUI getting all the way up to 1.35% dominance, which is still less than half of what Solana did during the peak of the last cycle. That gets you to around $125 billion market cap for SUI and a $34 to $35 price per token. Again, that seems somewhat outlandish, but I think if you can see crypto market cap getting to 8 to 10 trillion and SUI getting up to that 1.35% dominance level, it's definitely possible and definitely on the cards, and also a phenomenal multiple from today's prices of $2.87. So I hope that's making sense, guys. Drop me a comment below this video. Where do you think the price of SUI is going to get to by the peak of the cycle? I want to curate your price predictions. As always, today's video is sponsored by BitUnix. Check out BitUnix in the link below the description of this video. A global crypto derivatives exchange, non-KYC. You're going to want privacy in this space. If you're interested in getting a privacy-focused, non-KYC centralized exchange, get an account on BitUnix using the description below this video. That is it for today's video, guys. If you got any value at all out of this SUI deep dive and price prediction, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button. Take 3 seconds right now, smash that thumbs up button. It would mean the world to help spread the good word about the crypto space. As always, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon. And like I said at the beginning, you've got a completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. Grab it below, my gift to you in the description, and we'll catch you in the next one.